I was always interested in creative things, making art and doing fun things with found objects and even painting on weird materials, because I just didn't have the right stuff to use when I was really young, and didn't get a lot of support in that area as a kid. I had a cousin that was a very talented illustrator and artist and portrait artist, and was always encouraged by the idea of making figurative drawing as a kind of way of expressing myself, and spent a lot of time in that direction, actually wanting to be a figurative artist, and took a long time before I got the idea of there were other things I was already doing that weren't that were appreciated and understood by people as an expression of the creative process, whether it was collage or assemblage or other things like that. So I had a high school teacher that was really instrumental in stretching the limits of art and understanding art and appreciating art, more so than any other teachers or people that I knew. And he was good at that, and made sure I had like free passes to the museums and stuff, so it didn't cost anything. And so it was a great opportunity to go to the Museum of Modern Art and stuff like that, and just we'd get paint from him and paint the line down the middle of the street green for St. Patrick's Day, and cops would bring us back into school and up to his classroom and say, "These kids said they got this material from the art teacher," and we didn't do it, and we had green paint all over us. I grew up with gangs running through my backyard shooting at each other, and people shooting up on heroin in the middle of the street on the crosswalk and stuff like that. And it was the switchblade 1950s leather jacket motorcycle stuff, and I wound up drawing for the gang on my block, and it was the crosses. Gee, I wonder why I'm so influenced by crosses. The crosses were the gang, and we did T-shirts with magic markers, and then they'd be huffing the magic markers after we did the T-shirts. And then they didn't get tattoos right away, so we would make fake tattoos. We'd draw fake tattoos on them with those accounting pencils. At one end was blue and the other end is red, and if you wet it, it looks just like the colors from tattoos and stuff like that. So that's what I spent time doing, and to just be part of the gang. But along with that, then there'd be opportunities to have to fight for survival. I mean, as we were just having fun playing ball and drawing on T-shirts and stuff like that, all of a sudden somebody'd come onto your turf and they'd be running down the street in mass with throwing garbage cans at you and have guns and stuff like that. And it's like, what do you do? It all didn't seem as interesting to me to do the figurative stuff. So I basically didn't do much artwork at all. When I moved to Florida and wasn't really in the midst of the little fish in the big pond like New York, with having to prove yourself and the luck of the draw on becoming successful as an artist in New York, I tended to do whatever I felt was important here, and it was just not figurative art. It was a sense of accomplishment and completeness to create a piece out of found objects, or just working from a standpoint of 3D art with texture and form. And again, it's just the feeling of it being a complete work. And the understanding and appreciation from people was a good way to make me want to do it more, and it's stretching the limits and the imagination to use certain materials that wouldn't usually be associated with artwork. But I mean, there's a long-standing process of doing things the way I do them with other artists, and I'm encouraged by that. With the success of being a writer and doing graphics work and managing art facilities and stuff like that, it let me have that possibility right now. But it's most times now stealing time away from the money-making stuff, whether it's writing for a national or international magazine or website or fashion or stuff like that. It still means in the middle of the day working on your own to say, I'm going to stop this for a little while and just go out in the yard and take a few rusty shovels and do something with them, or weld something, or just assemble things together to create a pattern and photograph stuff. And so it's a different motivation than previously trying to do the ego-centric artist work of creating something that existed once in nature that looked this way and making it look exactly that way again in a painting or a photograph. Now it's just taking something that doesn't look anything like what you think it originally was, and printmaking and transfer printing and stuff like that people look at it and everybody gets a different impression. Some people see Garrison Keillor's face in there, and other people see Andy Warhol's face in there. It's just, they get what they get from it, and it's and they're all right, they're all certain that that's what it is and that's what it means, so it works for me.